energy trends for the solstice. I'm Danielle Rama-Hoffman of divinetransmissions.com, and so appreciative and grateful that you're tuning in. So I'll just take a minute to call in Thoth and the Council of Light, and then we'll begin. Hello, dear ones. It is I, Thoth, with the Venus beings of light, including Sanat Kumara, the Venus ray of opulent bliss, the path of the Venus light beings of light, and the golden stargate that are moving more into the forefront of this divine transmission. We would invite you to begin by, if you choose, taking a deep breath, really breathing all the way down into the tips of your toes, into your feet, your ankles, your shins, your knees, your thighs, your pelvis, your belly. Really breathing in to your body, into your embodiment as a divine sight. Breathing into your abdomen, your chest, your throat, your arms as an extension of the heart center, your fingers, your neck, your head. And now, if you would, take a few breaths into the space around you, above your body, below your body, to the sides of your body, the back of your body, the front of your body. Really breathing consciously into your embodiment, which is not only from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Your embodiment as a multidimensional being is also much more vast than that. Good. So we would continue our June 2018 energy trends. There is a 12-day period from June 13th to June 25th, where there is a very unique opportunity to be actualizing or consecrating energies and frequencies that have the qualities of that which you're choosing. So that may be empowerment, it may be bliss, it may be really in that seat of the open heart, or unity consciousness, or abundance, or radiant health, or whatever those qualities are. And they may also be beyond your language, meaning that you know that there's a quality that if it was in your life, or frequency or vibration, that if it was in your life would feel more like you. And your embodied experience on the Earth Star would have even more positive momentum than it currently does. So during this 12-day period from June 13th through the 25th, you are invited to really be aware, if you choose, of frequencies and vibration, the energetic tone of your life, of your beingness. Now, how is it that you become aware of the energetic tone of your life and your beingness? Well, this is where it gets quite interesting. And this is also one of the things that's very unique about 2018. That 2018 is a positioning year. It's a year to seal in what's yours moving forward and to seal out that which you've outgrown. And it's also a year where there's a lot of light, and not only light, yet also intergalactic communication light, cosmic light from across the multiverse, or what we call the divine verse. And so as you are tapping into the frequencies and vibrations from, if you choose, across the multiverse, that are actually yours to be vibrating with on a more regular basis, yet may not necessarily have been on the Earth star thus far, or have been a predominant frequency on the Earth star thus far, then during this 12-day period, the 13th through 25th, there is the possibility and the invitation that those frequencies and vibrations can be even more embodied in a multidimensional way in your environment. And so let's talk a little bit more about that. So we know that in the old paradigm, there was more duality, polarity on a vibrational scale. So positive and negative charges would neutralize one another, and that there was less of a variety of frequencies in some ways, that there were many building blocks that created matter, what you would call matter, yet it was often created from the same building blocks. So whether you look at that in the DNA, and it's the ATCG, and where the letters are read from creates something different, a protein or a toenail or whatever it is. Or if you look at the elements of earth, air, water, and fire, and Akasha, spirit, source, whatever that you would call that fifth element, the ether, that those were the building blocks for a lot of frequencies and vibrations. Now, within those frequencies and vibrations, everything exists within all that there is. So it's not that they were not already inclusive of the vast variety of frequencies and vibrations that are now becoming available, yet they were available in a much more muted way, or in a more multi-purpose way. So it's a little bit like you can have a multi-purpose tool that maybe it's a Swiss Army knife. And in your Swiss Army knife, you have many tools. You have the screwdriver, you have the knife, you have the tweezers, you have many tools within the Swiss Army knife. And so that's a multi-tool experience. However, sometimes you really need an electric screwdriver, or you really are choosing to have a particular knife that's beyond the Swiss Army knife. Now, the Swiss Army knife, it's very functional, it's very beautiful, and it has its purpose for travel. So in a way, that's a little bit what your journey on the Earth star has been, for some of you more than others, that you came to the Earth star with like a Swiss Army knife of the frequencies and vibrations that actually are your optimal environment. And so, yes, you've had that screwdriver, you've had that toothpick, you've had that knife, you had that scissor, yet it's been like the mini version. And now you're ready to, not only are you ready, yet the Earth star environment is optimal for you to have your particular tool, so that it's a little bit more like you can reach into the sack of the infinite possibilities and pull out exactly what it is that you're choosing, and actually that which is bespoke to you. So that's what we mean by the frequencies and vibrations that are yours to be and have, nothing more, nothing less, and that there's a wider variety that's possible than ever before, because it exists multidimensionally, so it's not canceling out the other frequencies. And so now let's talk about the embodiment of frequencies and vibrations, because you've been connected to these frequencies and vibrations before, yet they've seemed far off, or they've seemed like just out of reach, or they come and you feel fantastic and then they go and you're in this deep heartbreak almost of longing. Like, where was that? I thought I had it, now it's gone. Where did it go? Did I ever have it? And then so now, in terms of embodiment, what's unique about this 12-day period, and we want you to know that this is also happening on the level of your higher self or your divine knowing. So there's the aspect of it that you're conscious of. You can also trust that you, as a vibrational field, are like a signature that then is unlocking what's yours to unlock, nothing more, nothing less. So it's possible to vibrationally embody during this 12-day period are the frequencies and vibrations that really are home to you, that really are also catalytic for your evolution in consciousness, that really have been like what you've been almost waiting for, or leaning into. And the embodiment doesn't necessarily mean that your external environment changes. And this is where you may get very, very excited about this, or you may kind of go, yet we would invite you to be very, very excited about this, because we're very, very excited about this, that your vibrational experience can expand and evolve in leaps and bounds and within your current internal environment. Now, as we've already been speaking about June in our first energy transmission, really being about creating a site of the extraordinary or the divine, that it may be a month that you're paying attention to your body, to your home, that it's spring cleaning a little bit late, and that you may be paring down and choosing to have things that really feel nourishing and inviting in your environment. So there may be some external changes in your environment. We're speaking about the home, the body, yet that may overflow into job and into relationships, into all different areas, friendships, so on and so forth. So there may be these external changes, and some of them may actually be quite vast, that you're called into a completely different area. So we're not saying that the external changes won't continue to happen, and they will. Yet the cool thing about this 12-day period is that the frequencies and vibrations can be with you in an embodied way right here, right now. You don't have to be younger or fitter or thinner or richer or have better friends or love or whatever those things are to have the energy of whatever it is you think those things are going to garner for you. Now, still absolutely take inspired action to, as a creator being, create your life in leaps and bounds in exponential ways. And as the frequencies and vibrations that you require, that you're asking for, that you also associate with the actualization of whatever that out there thing is, that if you had it, you would be happy, that's what separation consciousness does. In the old paradigm, there's always this sense of dis-ease or a lack of satisfaction because it's never enough and you're always separate. And so, yes, you'll still continue to expand. That's what the divine does. However, there's the recognition, the awareness of what if you already had on a vibrational and frequency level that which actually would be your embodied divine essence and your thriving environment. Good. So it's a little bit like water can embody essential oils, salt, tea. It can be a carrier. Or you can also have a crystal that you program with a particular energy and consciousness. Or maybe you've had a sacred object that you have imbued with energy. Now, we want to be clear that each object has its own unique purpose. So money is money, water is water, a tree is a tree, a crystal is a crystal. And on a multidimensional, and you're you, and on a multidimensional level, there can also be, because energy and frequency is the basis of all that there can also be on a multidimensional level more frequencies and vibrations that are embodied in the quality. So let's say you live in a house and your house has a lot of clutter. Maybe you have kids, maybe you have a partner, maybe you've been busy at work, maybe it just hasn't been a priority. And really inside, you desire crystal clarity. You desire space. And not only desire, it's a frequency that will support your evolution. That as you have space, as you have a very clear environment which may be very zen, or it may be very like everything has its place. It may be a very whatever it is. As you have that, your essence, your being senses that's going to be what creates a lot of opening for you. Now, again, we want to be, we understand that we are giving a lot here in a little bit, and that it's easy to kind of interpret that we're saying don't pay attention to the physical. That's not what we're saying. June is absolutely a month, especially and always, to pay attention to the physical. You are incarnated. You are here. You are choosing to be this being of light in an incarnation. So we are not saying to ignore the incarnation. What we are saying is now that which you have called physical, incarnated, tangible, it has also opened up to more multidimensional fields. So there's greater possibilities to be embodied, embedded, expanded into. So your home can be in the same state of chaos or too much stuff or whatever, broken things, and you can imbue absolute crystal clarity, space. That's what we mean during this 12-day period, that you can embody the frequencies and vibrations in a very embodied way. And then once that's there, you may find yourself cleaning out the silverware drawer or whatever it is. So that can also be the same for your being, for your relationships, for your finances, for your joy. And we know we're speaking about these known qualities. Yet one of the very exciting things about 2018, and then we'll complete here in a moment with an energy transmission. One of the exciting things about 2018 is really that it can be frequencies and vibrations that you don't necessarily know on a conscious level. Innovative, new, that there's a sense of, oh, what you've been looking for, the reason you haven't found it is because it hasn't been in your environment. It's like going to career day and you see the examples of being a teacher, you see the examples of being a plumber, you see the examples of being a chef, you see the examples of being a doctor, an architect, an entrepreneur, whatever it is, a merchant. You see these different archetypes. Yeah, what if you are an alchemical magician? Or what if you are one that has a purpose to really be seeding the energies and frequencies from beyond the central sun? So there's more and more and more and more recognition of what it is that you're up to on a vibrational level. So you could simply, during this 12-day period, begin how we began, taking some breaths all the way into your toes, all the way up your body, and then expanding to the above, below, beside, right, left, front, back, as a way of inviting in these frequencies and vibrations. Good. So we would complete with an energy stargate hologram for the 12-day period. And we'll place it on the altar for you to pick up or not, if it's yours to be and do and have. And that this 12-day period also has the solstice within it. So if you're tuning in during this 12-day period, it's a little bit of like before the solstice and after, with the solstice really being an energy that amps up the frequencies and vibrations. So here we go with the Stargate for June 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Wonderful. So you may choose to bask in these energies for a few moments longer. And we are extending our acknowledgement for your contribution to the evolution in consciousness. All is light, and we are all.